Welcome to the Meadow Springs Presbyterian Church Children's Moment. Hi, kiddos. I hope you are well. I'm so glad that you are joining us this week. We are still in this thing called Advent, which is the coming of Jesus Christ as a baby. And I know that you are making your preparations with Christmas. Maybe you're thinking about presents for your family and your friends. Maybe you've already put up your Christmas tree and decorated it. Maybe you've done some decorations in your rooms, maybe some lights, maybe some fun wreaths or paper cutouts for ornaments. I know we've done a lot of that in my house already. It's just what we do for Christmas, right? Well, in much the same way, in the church, we make preparations to receive Jesus Christ. And so that looks a little bit sometimes different than what we do for our Christmas traditions. But I want to tell you a story this week about a man, an older man, who had a really strange but amazing visit from an angel. And the angel reminded him about how important it is to prepare for Jesus Christ to come. So in order to do this, I thought I would set the stage for our story. So I've got this picture here that I drew, and let me explain it a little because you might not realize what's going on at first. But there was, in that time, in Jesus's day, people who would go to the temple. So this is the temple, my drawing of it. And they would go to the temple, and it was their job to pray. That was their job all day long for many, many hours. They were to pray. They were to make sure that things were just as they needed to be to worship so the people could worship God. And there was a really faithful older man, and his name was Zechariah. In fact, Jesus' uncle. Did you know that? Well, Zechariah's job on this particular day was to go into the very inner room and to make sure that the candles were lit and he was praying and he was supposed to stay awake. Well, while he was there and he was praying, an angel of the Lord appeared to Zechariah. Now, this is a pretty cute angel. And the angels in the Bible, we get the sense that they probably weren't cute and cuddly. In fact, a lot of times angels would say to people they appear to, "Do not be afraid." So we have to think maybe they were kind of awesome, right? Kind of big and shiny, and I don't know, but they looked enough that they had to tell people, "Don't be afraid." Okay, so this angel of the Lord comes to Zechariah and he says, "Do not be afraid, Zechariah, for your prayer will be answered." Now, the prayer that Zechariah had was for a baby of his own, for he and his wife. You see, Zechariah and his wife were kind of older and they hadn't had any children yet, and they really wanted a baby. And so they had been praying about that. And this angel says to Zechariah, "You and your wife will give birth to a son. And this son is going to be your joy and your delight." Can you imagine being told that this new baby that you were going to have would make you so happy, right? And so this son is going to come and he's going to be very special. This son is going to turn people back to God. He's going to prepare the way for the Messiah. That's Jesus, the saving one. And his name is going to be John. And in fact, John becomes Jesus's cousin. But John and Jesus are more than family. John helps people prepare for Jesus's arrival. And so he has a wonderful role, a wonderful place in Jesus's life, and they're partners. John helps Jesus out. John loves God, just like his father, Zechariah, loves God. And as we continue on in this season of Advent, I want us to think about one thing in particular. I want us to think about who in our lives reminds us about God. Maybe there's someone in your life who teaches you about God, or who prays with you, or who helps read with you the stories of the Bible. Or maybe it's just someone who says, hey, I'm not sure God would want you to do that. Or, hey, God loves it when kids do that. But someone in your life who reminds you about God and helps you remember that we're preparing for Jesus to come. So do you have that person in mind? I want you this week, this is my challenge for you, I want you this week to go to that person and to thank them. Because it's important that we have someone in our lives who does just what John did for the people. Help them turn to God and remember that Jesus is coming. All right, kids, be well. We'll see you next week. We're getting closer and closer to Christmas, to the story of Jesus being born. So we have many exciting things still to share with you. Join us next week. Bye for now.